If you all saw the recipe video for the red momo chutney that I released just a couple of days ago, then you know that I grew up with momos. Delhi style momos, to be very specific. And the thing about momos, especially in Delhi, is it's just amazing Indo-Chinese cuisine. Momos originally are from the Nepal region, just north of India. And I'm so happy that momos are a thing that I grew up with. That's why you'll see elements of Indian influence in here, along with some Chinese and Nepalese techniques as well. The biggest thing you need to get great flavor and to cook it really well is a steamer basket. This one here I think is made of bamboo. So let's first start with the mince, for which you need some chicken mince. You can use turkey if you care about it, but these are chicken momos. Along with that, some finely chopped red onions, lots of chopped green chilies, and then cilantro. Then we have our spices. So have 3 spices here: garam masala, ground black pepper, and red chili powder. Add that in there along with some ginger and garlic paste, and then some rice vinegar. Season with some salt, and you really can season to taste, because what I do is I add a bit of salt, mix it all up until it looks kind of like this, nice and cohesive, and then just cook a dime-sized portion a tiny bit on a pan, and then adjust the seasoning based on what you taste. Let these flavors meld though. The longer this sits, the more delicious your mince will be. Let's now take a look at the dough, for which I'm just using some all-purpose white flour or maida flour, some salt, and water. Now, some recipes also make use of oil or cornstarch. Well, I'm trying to do it the traditional Nepalese way, which only uses water, salt, and flour. But feel free to look up other variations if you're looking for versions with cornstarch and or oil. You want to bring this dough together until it forms a ball, and then just continue to knead it until you have a nice, smooth, round dough ball. This now needs to sit and relax for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to cover that under a damp cloth and then just let it be. After that time has passed, now we can break it up into smaller portions. I'm going to cut it lengthwise. You can use a knife, you can use a bend scraper, and then just take each of those portions and roll it out lengthwise, as thin as you can, until it's about this thick, about an inch thick, if not a bit less than that. This is what we're going to be using to create our portions, and I'm going to cut each of these into 1.5 inch size roughly portions. And then here's where the hard work in this recipe comes in, and it's totally worth it. You'll get the hang of it, you'll get into the flow after the first couple of them. Now the hardest thing as you start rolling out is what's going to be your folding technique for when you have the filling inside these circular portions of the dumplings or the momos. And honestly, there's so many different ways, and I tried a couple of ways. Some I was good at, some I was not. The easiest way, honestly, is the spherical one, where you just have the portion in the middle, you bring the dough together, and then you just kind of twirl it on the top to seal it. That's the simplest one. Some people also actually just buy the pastry from the store, and that seems to be a bit more pliable, a bit easier to work with. And you can pick that option if you want as well, but I rather just do it homemade. The version that I picked involved me taking a portion of the meat, about a tablespoon and a half, putting that in the center, pinching the very top edges of each end of the circle, and then folding in the left end a bit, and then pressing and pinching that to seal, and same with the right end, and then just roughly shaping it so that it looks nice and pretty. They essentially look like little boats, and I'll try to link some other techniques, maybe naming them so you can look it up easier. That's what I was doing, looking at techniques, trying it out, and then going with what worked for me. And here's kind of where the fun began, where I just figured out how to do it, which technique worked for me, and then I was just rolling almost like there was no tomorrow. I think I did about 30 to 35 momo portions, and the best thing about it is you can freeze what you don't need and just cook it fresh as you want. Now the thing with momos, which is so cool, you can cook it so many different ways. You can steam it the most basic way, but then you can also pan fry it, deep fry it, even maybe bread it and then deep fry it, or put the steamed momos in a marinade and then pop that in the tandoor oven or in your regular oven under the broiler. I thought, let's just start slow, and then I'll come up in the future with more fillings and then do the other methods. Okay, so the momo portions are all ready. You can set aside what you don't want to cook for now, and then let's start cooking the rest. Now you need a pan which you'll fill with some water, and then the steamer basket will go on top kind of like this. And the cabbage from earlier that you must have seen is to kind of line the base of the steamer basket, because we're going to place the momos on the cabbage leaves. That's going to impart it with some amazing flavor and fragrance, and it's just going to make it taste that much nicer. So arrange the momos kind of like this. I did spray a touch of oil to prevent any sticking action from happening. You don't want to ruin your momos, and make sure that you don't have any of the portions sticking to each other before you start cooking. Now make sure that the water is up at a steam before you put the basket on, and then you want to cook this for roughly 10 to 12 minutes. Now how do you know if it's cooked? Well, the outside of it will be shiny and getting towards translucency. And the other best way to check it, because it is raw meat in there, is you take one portion, you cut it in half, and you take a look if it's cooked well. And for me, that's exactly what had happened. Perfectly cooked, and I'm super happy with how these are looking. So take the steamer basket out and let's get ready to eat. And yes, that's the same momo chutney. It's super delicious. Make sure you serve it at room temperature or slightly warmed. And here are our amazing freshly steamed chicken momos. Now I had half that plate, and it was just as good as what I remember from back in my school days. I definitely did spice it up a bit more, added some more masalas in there, and it just was perfect for what I was looking for what my palate needed. And just like that, food transported me back to, I guess, what I needed in that moment, and I'm here super satisfied with some more momos in the freezer, which I'm probably gonna have tomorrow or maybe later tonight, and I'll see you all on the next one. But just let me know, which momo filling and technique do you want to see next, or should I just make a combo video where I share multiple fillings and multiple techniques in one video? See ya.